and do not spend $50 to get a $47 account and only 8 hours to make a 260% gain. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Juliuz and I'm watching the best videos of the trading industry with you together, so you don't have to do it all by yourself. Today we're watching a new video from our friend fxalexg, how to start day trading with just $50. I have $50. I guess most of you should have $50. So why don't we just take a look at what Alex is telling us here and start trading with $50? Alright, you guys leave a sub and a like real quick down below. Thank you for your support. It's just 5 seconds of work for you, but it means a lot to me. Thank you for your support. Now let's get right into it. Here we go.
Lately, 6-figure wins and 6-figure losses are
A little louder maybe and a little faster. The video is almost 40 minutes long, so let's get through it a little quicker.
Almost the new normal nowadays, where I can make $400,000 or $500,000 in a single day.
New normal, making $400,000-$500,000 in a single day. Why not?
And also lose it like if nothing ever
And also lose it, yeah.
happened. But things weren't always like this. If you would have met me 7 years ago, I would have asked you what type of donut and what size coffee would you want. And in that time period, I was a consecutively unprofitable trader, a struggling trader aspiring to be successful, where I lost $28,000 of my savings and my family's money. I was unprofitable and doing all of this by myself. So I definitely understand what it takes to go from absolutely nothing to having major consistency and profitability from the market. So in this video today, I'm going to teach you how to optimize your current situation and how to go from nothing to being at the level where you want to be by using $50. Don't underestimate the power.
All right, let's see.
Power of what you can do.
Why are those timestamps in Spanish? That's what I'm asking myself.
With $50 if you execute things correctly and if you have a plan. And in this video, I'm going to give you a plan, a direction, and a strategy to optimize it and reach your first payout or your first successful account flip. The realistic way, the no BS way. Now, to get started, the first thing that we need to do is analyze your current situation and be fully transparent and realistic about your situation.
But isn't like a prop trading challenge already more than $50?
You're not going to get
So we do have to trade with equity then.
rich off of $50. You're not going to be a profitable trader with $50, and you're not going to have.
Well, I don't think you can't be profitable. I mean, why not? If you're working with a CFD provider and trading the smallest size possible, like if you have a CFD broker where you can trade with a fixed dollar amount per point and you trade, let's say, 10 cents a point in the S&P 500, why not?
That life-changing dramatic shift that you're looking for with $50. The best analogy that I can give you is if, for example, you were to be a fisherman. If you were to go out to fish, you only have one rod, one line, one hook, and one bait. You really have limited resources. If one fish hooks onto your line and it snaps your line, you're done for the day. So you are going out to the game, or you're going out to go fish in a very limited resource, so you need to tread carefully and be realistic. And you understand that you can't go and catch extremely big fish with very small bait and a line that doesn't have the potential to reel in that fish. Trading with $50 is no different. You can't expect to have $50 be turned into $1 billion in 24 hours because that's just simply not possible. You can't.
That's really probably not possible. Unless you find the perfect meme coin and put $50 into it. Then you could maybe become a millionaire within 24 hours, but otherwise probably not.
Expect to get a $50 and buy extremely high leverage prop firm account and get a payout in 24 hours. You need to be realistic with your situation. And this is the first and most important thing, because 99% of traders fail because they have these overly highly expectations of what they can do with their current situation.
Actually, I really like the quotes from Alex here and there because they're so true. And we talk too little about that you have to set your expectations. In general, you can have high expectations, but for a specific trading month, let's say, you have to set the expectations a little lower, okay? We are watching all of those traders who make like $400,000-$500,000 a month, and we want to be somehow comparable successful. So we want to make at least, let's say, $5,000 a month. But in reality, we are trading too big of a size and too big of a risk, and then we lose the account or lose a lot of money. Eventually, trading smaller size, I can only repeat myself, is the holy grail, okay? Trade less risky.
If you accept that this is your learning and your building phase, you will get a lot further than you can imagine. You need to use these $50 as a tool to test out your strategy, your risk management, your psychological.
Okay, one more thing. I know there are some gurus, mostly the ones that are a little older than you and me here, not in their 20s or 30s, but rather in their 50s or 60s, telling you try to increase your position size a little bit more aggressive. But I think that is because this generation of traders had a different mindset towards risk than we do. We are in our TikTok generation with short attention spans, primed to accept big risk. We want something to happen. We want our mind to be distracted, and there has to be something going on, because of those gurus who tell you increase your position size a little more aggressive usually are from a generation in which the risk aversion was a little bigger than what we are doing here.
Battles that you're going to face, and most importantly, your plan. So if you actually execute these things correctly, then you can scale with the small profits that you make with these 50 bucks, whether they're on a platform account, whether they're on a personal account, and I'll give this plan for you later. But you need to have full clearance and understanding that this is your building moment. This is your learning moment. This is not your scaling moment. If you want to go out to actually catch the big fish, you need to go out on a boat to the deep ocean. You might catch it from the shore, but not with one line, one hook, and one bait. So now that we got that sour side out of the way, and you're still watching this video, that's a really good sign, because it means that you're willing to actually make a decision that is going to slowly improve you.
Now, do we still find out how to trade with $50 in this video? I mean, I don't know, since the timestamps are in Spanish, so this is a big surprise.
So you earn money from the markets, not make money from the markets. If you're just looking to make money, you will never make money in the market. You need to earn it the correct way with the plan that I'm going to share with you right now. How to actually execute a correct strategy with 50 bucks, how to scale these 50 bucks to essentially a fortune if you can do this.
This is what I wanted to see, how to scale. I think the strategy is more or less the same for every position size. Doesn't matter if you have only $50 or $500,000, you could enter the same trade. But the scaling part is the interesting one, because, I mean, let's be honest here, guys. If we are risking just 0.5 to 1% of our account, we just risk with 1% 50 cents. 50 cents per trade. And with a perfect 2-to-1 reward risk ratio, we make $1. We definitely have to execute a lot of very, very, very good profitable trades to scale here. So this is the interesting part.
The correct way, and how to find a pattern that consistently repeats itself in the time. And you can use these 50 bucks to practice your entries. You're scaling in on this pattern, so where then you can execute on a bigger account. So with that being said, let's get started. So first things first.
Okay, so you basically told us from the beginning here, the $50 are just to learn trading and then execute on a bigger account. So I'm quite disappointed here. Let's hear that again.
This pattern, so itself in the time, and you can use these 50 bucks to practice your entries. You're scaling in on this pattern, so where then you can execute on a bigger account. So with that being said,
so we're not really learning how to get from a $50 account to a big account here, but how to start trading with $50. All right, okay, so let's continue here. Maybe the scaling thing is a little bit more interesting.
Let's get started. So first things first, this is going to be step one to the actual plan on how to execute with these 50 bucks. Do not overtrade. This is a quality over quantity game. I get it, you want to gain experience, you want to take trades, you want to feel like you're in the game. You are not in the game by being in the game. You're in the game by playing the game strategically. And
true. But with $50, it's really hard to be patient, because if you're just executing 3 trades a week and one of them is a loser and you're just risking 50 cents per trade, you're maybe making $1 a week. Isn't that great?
You do that by executing the correct type of trades. Limit yourself to 2 positions a week. No need for any more of that. And every single one of these positions, you need to risk a certain percentage, depending if you go to a platform account or a personal account. I'm going to share with you later down in this video. Write these notes down as key high-level notes that you can always come back to when you're executing this plan. So first things first is quality over quantity. Do not overtrade. Now, knowing that you only have 50 bucks to trade with, again, we have limited resources. We have to be realistic with our scenario. Limiting ourselves to 1 to 2 positions a week is going to directly, by default, put us in a category of the type of trader that we are. So when you're trading the markets, you are a scalp trader, day trader, and a swing trader. Swing traders typically take 1 positions, maybe 2 positions every 2 weeks. Day traders can take 1 to 2 to 3, maybe 4 positions a week. And a scalper can probably take 15, 20 positions a week.
This is where I'm a different opinion than Alex here. This is again the same thing he told us in the previous video I reacted on. So you find a previous reaction to Alex on this channel. But a day trader does more than 1 to 4 positions a week. A day trader does 1 to 4 positions a day, guys. Okay. And a scalp trader does more than 15 to 20 positions a week. This is more like day trading stuff.
You don't want to be a scalper, because a scalper is executing too many positions that are low risk to reward positions and have a very inaccurate win rate, because they're just...
I don't know. I don't know. Why not be a scalper with 50 bucks? Isn't that better recommendation? I mean, let's be honest here. Making $1 a week, guys, and just trading the demo, you don't need to risk your valuable $50 for it. Get yourself, I don't know, some pizza with your friends with those $50, okay? And trade on the demo. If you want to make, I don't know, $100 out of it, you really have to open some more positions.
Trying to enter a trade that can go in and out of their position within the first couple of hours. You don't want that. You want a strong position that you're following a trend and you're just not looking for an impulse move. So scalping, out of the picture. Swing trading is a great approach. But
so he's basically showing us, I guess, the same strategy as always.
Your two options when it comes to trading.
Okay, now this is a little more interesting. And all of those brokers today, I've never heard of them. I don't know if they're good, if they're legit. I don't know if you get a funded challenge for $50 with 8 cap. I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? Here, this one is the right thing. Challenges. Let's see. Okay, so the cheapest one is $69. It's a $5,000 account. Maximum total loss 8%, maximum daily loss, profit target 10%. So with those $50, you won't probably be able to afford one.
With $50. First option is you can go to a prop firm. A prop firm, you can buy an evaluation process and you can get a payout. Or step 2, you go to...
Well, you just can't with $50. You just can't.
A broker. A broker, you trade your own money. You have a bit more leverage.
Maybe if you are writing a really friendly, nice email to 8cap, explaining in detail that you really just have $50, maybe they're nice enough to give you a $5,000 account challenge.
On it, for a bit more freedom, but you really are limited to the type of profits that you can make on it. Now, there's pros and cons to both of these, and I'm going to let you decide the plan for yourself. I'm going to lay the options out on the table. You take the information and you determine what makes the most sense for you depending on your situation. And I'm going to tell you what I personally did and what helped me scale. So, first option is prop firms. So 8cap is a prop firm. I flew out to Australia, met the CEO in person, saw their office with over 150 employees running this large-scale operation of a regulated prop firm. If you guys are interested in getting a prop firm account, discount code down below. This is not an ad at all, but I'm just being realistic because I back their challenges because I believe that they have some very cool and creative stuff that would make the most sense for the majority of the traders. So for example, with $50, you can really get a 2-phase challenge with a $5,000 account, meaning...
Well, you just can't. Sorry, but it's $59 and not 50. And when we are talking about trading and risk and reward, then $59 is almost already 20% more than your $50. Okay, so turning $50 into $59, you already have to do 18-19% in profit.
So that's for the 2-phase challenge. You have their custom day trader challenge, which is quite cool in my
opinion. Okay, maybe this one is a little more interesting because I never heard of that.
Because you can customize your challenge where you're essentially instantly funded and you get to pay out on what you have. So if all we have is $50, we can even break this down to as little as $5 if you want to. But if you want to risk the entire $50, this is like getting an instantly funded challenge where you have an evaluation process for a duration of time. So you either have 1 hour to pass a challenge, a 2-hour challenge, a 4-hour challenge, or an 8-hour challenge. All of these challenges, they just slightly get harder depending on the hours that you pick. So the way it works is that you start with a $10,000 starting balance. Whether you decide to risk $50, $300, $500, your starting balance is always a 10K account. You decide how long you want your challenge to be and what you want your payout to be. So if you pass a challenge, you just get paid out right away. There's no evaluation process. There's no
Okay, my thoughts on this. If I'm reading that correctly here, if you are investing your $50 in that challenge, you have to pay your $50 and then you get an allegedly $10,000 account. But if you take a close look, the challenge targets, you have a drawdown of $67. So at the 8-hour challenge. So you basically have a $67 account because after a loss of $67, the account is gone. Okay, you have a $67. So you pay $50 to get a $67 account, but with a 8-hour limit in which you have to make $100. So you pay $50 and you're in the need of making 100% within 8 hours or your capital is lost. Why don't you just say, forget the $17 difference, I'm just opening a $50 equity account and I have all the time in the world and no need to rush. I don't see the real value here. Sorry, I don't want to be too rude here, but get what I'm telling you, okay? It doesn't sound too easy and too fair.
You can choose to either have 2 times what you decided to put at stake. You can put 5 times or 100 times, as you can.
Okay, so we heard of that. Let's continue here. Those are also the challenges. And now
Trading on your own personal account, there's pros and cons. So these are the trusted brokers that I trade with. If you guys would like to know more about it, link in the description down below. I get it asked every single video, and I feel like sometimes these are blind. Like it's right there, you know? You're just taking trades at your own free will, which could be good, but also very bad, because we all know when it's us by ourselves in our dark room in London session executing a trade, we tend to just be impulsive. So,
okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing is that you lose the 50 bucks. With 8 cap, just have 8 hours to do something almost impossible, which is basically then gambling. And if you lose while gambling, you lose the account as well. So
there's benefits to this because you have more buying power. So you get north of 1 to 500 leverage using these brokers, because you can execute trades as if you were to have a $5,000 account, and you can have instant withdrawals. So if your first edition with this $50 account, you were to make 25 or 50 bucks, you can withdraw your initial balance, and then you're basically playing with the house money. So at that point, there's nothing at risk. And the beauty and also double-edged sword.
Yes, everyone knows that. I guess everyone knows that. And again, another advertisement for 8 cap.
The famous head and shoulders.
Oh boy, head and shoulders patterns, guys. I mean, for starters, maybe this is good value. Here's a real life example.
Creating highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. We went bullish. So
putting a little trading view overlay over it. Guys, come on.
As you can tell, this right here is the higher high and higher low. This is the high point right here. This is the higher low point right here. And then what we're waiting for is for the market to shift below that higher low. As you can tell, if this is the higher low point right here, the market never really shifted into this point right here. So this is the left, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. A bit ugly. You know, all of these aren't super pretty. Some of them are a little bit ugly, and they create a bit more structure. But
I mean, this trade can work. Okay, we broke structure a little bit. I'd say the better trades are coming later, because we had a strong push, and then basically this was the first structure that was broken, okay? And I'm arguing you should at least wait for the next structure to be broken, which happened at this move lower, and then a retest of the second structure point, and then you can execute a short trade, because only if the first structure point here, which is the low here, is broken, the trend is still intact, okay? So we really have to wait for the second or even third structure point here to be broken lower, and then we can say now we really are safe to search for short trades and continue lower. Okay, so this is actually a little too early. Of course, the best trade examples occur very early on, because then a lot of traders are being catched on the wrong foot, but eventually you will be catched on the wrong foot if you are getting in too early. Conclusions: is there no scaling thing here?
These patterns, you're gonna be like, wow, I have missed out on so many of these opportunities and I've just been overcomplicating trading. Yes, you have. This
is again good advice. Simplicity is key, guys. Don't overcomplicate. And no, Alex is trading very simple setups, and he can make $100,000 with that, and that is the truth.
Totally normal. It's part of the game. You're here to make a difference if you're by this point in the video. You just need to be consistent to this approach. Now, understanding this very specific setup that you need to be extremely patient for to present itself, execute the trade instead of forget, I want to build for you guys a cheat sheet so you don't forget what you have to be doing. I've seen countless amounts of traders, they start their challenge great, then they get impatient halfway, and then they lose it and they start right back at square one. I don't want that to happen to you, because I want you to succeed, and I want to build you a cheat sheet so you can actually follow this. Now, step one on this cheat sheet, I'm going to pop it up right here to this side. First step is going to be to only execute this replicable trade setup. Next point is going to be to only enter after a confirmation.
Okay, I think this is pretty solid advice here. At some point you can watch the full video, link is as always in the description. If you want my recommendation, what you should do if you want to trade with $50, basically you can't expect the world. Try doubling that money with very, very big risk, risking 20% per trade, trying to scalp, making 5 good trades a day. At first, try to backtest something, find a strategy that is working. I'm a big advocate of mechanical strategies in which you execute the same rules more or less over and over again. It has to be profitable over the long term. So backtesting is the real job of a day trader. Backtest first, never touch the market without backtesting a proven strategy. If you have a good strategy and you want to execute that, you can risk a little more, let's say 20%, risking 10 bucks per trade. I don't know if you have a reward risk above 1, then you will make more than 10 bucks with every winning position. If you have a reward risk below 1, then you probably have a very high win rate. Try that, okay? If you lose 5 times, your account is gone. So it's pity, but nothing really too dramatic. And if you win a couple of times, you can definitely try to make 100% gain, and you have $100, then you can start risking 15%. If you somehow manage to get to $200, you can risk 10%. If you get to $400, risk 5%, and so on until you are at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and then you're risking just like few percent, and that is the way to go. First thing, have a good strategy. If you don't have a working strategy, you can forget it at all. And please do me a favor. Please do me a favor and do not spend $50 to get a $47 account. Right here, $47 account drawdown, and only 8 hours, sorry, to make a 260% gain. Please do not do that, okay? If you are spending $50 for an account, you should have bigger account than before, and not a smaller one, okay? Just trade equity, guys. This is not the best deal. Exchanging a $50 account for a $47 account with 8 hours to make 260%, then just spend it on some sport betting, okay? Bet on your favorite football team. The money is spent better than with whatever this is, okay? Sorry, but that's the truth. This is gambling. I think this should be illegal. All right, thank you for watching. I had my fun here. That was very, very entertaining, actually. We're gonna see us next time. Thank you for your support, and leave a like and comment down below. Have a great rest of the day. This was my recommendation of how to even have the chance of turning $50 into 1,000 or whatever. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.